Namaste, angels. Welcome, subscribers new and old. I am recording this reading for the week of the 10th through, I guess it's going to be the 16th. Yes, that's correct. Recording it a little early, although I plan on posting it in the normal time. I will be leaving out the astronomy.com this week. Those of you who look forward to that portion, please do look it up. Although I think I'm going to do the same thing next week. Because of the holidays, and I've got some homework to get in, although I've already received my degree in the mail, and I received word today that New York State certification that I've also earned in manufacturing management has also gone out. I still have stuff to hand in, even though I finished. And the reason I was able to acquire my degree already, this most recent one, because it's my third, by the way, is because I have so many credits. I have, by the time I finish the 4 credit classes that I'm taking right now, so 12 credits, I should have something like 160 credits and be more than eligible to take the CPA or any other accounting certification that I wish to, and all that. But at the same time, I continue to accept Divine Light Cleanse clients and to perform Divine Light Cleanses, which do take a lot out of me. I'm not complaining. I am humbled and honored to do them. I mentioned, and whomever saw the reading would have heard, I just did work with my first cancer patient, and that was an extremely humbling honor that just continues to keep, giving back to me, which is amazing, Her sister continues to come back with good news. She wasn't expected to start walking so early. At first she got her first bit of rest with the cleanse, and then she wasn't expected to begin to walk for something like 2 months, I think it was, after just having emergency surgery like a week or two ago. And she has already begun to walk. And despite the fact that she has unfortunately, a pretty rare form of cancer, has been like, a pillar of strength and everything. So praise God for that. But it's things like that I want to stay on top of. So some of you who have ordered Divine Light Cleanses know that I have not sent you the letter, but I have performed the cleanses. And so we've been in contact, many of us, you've still told me the wonderful experiences that you've had with it. And I feel bad that I haven't gotten back to you with the additional just thoughts and maybe advice that I give and that I will give, because I'm not going to not give it to you. But in trying to juggle all these like plates on my fingers, I'm going to continue to accept clients, who need my help. I'm going to continue to do readings. I'm completely on top of the readings. I'm still doing those by the Saturday of the, any given week that they've been ordered, for whomever orders them. And, the collective readings, no matter how many the universe orders me to perform. So like the regular weekly, the regular love, and then we have like specials that I have to squeeze in there too, and I'm still doing those. And then on top of that, I got to have a regular life like everybody else. I have children, I have parents, divine masculine, so sacred husband, all that kind of stuff. So that's what it is. I'm for those reasons, in consideration of the holidays. Also, I am going to be trying to, record these things when I can. So it's actually Thursday, Thursday, the 7th at 10:10 p.m. right now when I'm doing this reading. So again, welcome, subscribers new and old. To the new, I'd just like to quickly mention for whom I read. I'm not like other people on YouTube, and that's not to differentiate myself to say that, one is good and one is bad. I'm just not like other people on YouTube. So most people that are on YouTube are trying to get as many subscribers as they can, as many viewers as they can, to hopefully make the best living that they can. That's not why I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube because on March 16th of 2016, March 10th rather of 2016, the angels, well, 3 of them specifically, came to me and told me that I was to read tarot on the net. I had never studied tarot. I had never looked into it. I had never performed it. I wasn't a YouTube watcher. I can barely, somebody did a Facebook call to me today. I could barely answer the phone. I'm not very social media savvy at all. And I wasn't aware that I was tarot savvy, but turns out the tarot, numerology, a couple of other numerical languages, angel numbers, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, all these things come to me pretty naturally. And so that is based, that is on what my teachings and reading style and all of, and what I'm with the Queenofswords as a persona is based. My readings and all of that, my beliefs and understanding about this journey all come from the prophecies and the scriptures, like the way it was written. So this other stuff, that people quote unquote channel, maybe they do, maybe they don't, whatever. But whatever it is, I don't get into that stuff. I don't, encourage the fairy tale notions that I hear. I don't know if you guys hear them, but I don't encourage those. I specifically go by the prophecies and what's written about this journey. So if you're into that and you dig it and you get it and you get me, then you'll want to stick around. If you don't, then, you may want to leave, and that's okay too, is what I'm trying to say. I read specifically for the illumined and other elect of the scriptures, right, of the ancient texts, to help them along this journey. And I like to think I've done a pretty good job of it since starting it back on March 10th, 2016. And I mention this part, or say all this, because there's been a couple of comments here and there recently, and people will comment, and not everybody who's of the illumined and or elect is all who watch me. Other people, although I try to make it known for whom I read, other people, will come in and watch for whatever reason or motive they're doing so. But I'm trying to think of an example. There's been a couple that I'm like, obviously this person is very, very new, so maybe I need to say something again about what it is I'm doing here. There was one this week about I must not have experienced the angelic realm, and I must be unfamiliar with it. Because there's something I said. Oh, I was talking about the portals, the quote unquote portals. What it had said was that on very obvious days, like for example, the solstice is coming up, right? So there'll be, you can bet your ass, there will be people saying, oh, there's a solstice portal. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. I haven't looked at the dates. I haven't looked at the numerology. But just because there's an obvious reason for a portal doesn't mean there really is one. A lot of the time, not just some of the time, actually, unfortunately, a lot of the time, it is just somebody taking advantage of our desire for there to be a portal, and our desire for love, and our desire to understand this journey and to, expedite it and all that kind of stuff. And there are people who are out to make money. So they write a blog. They don't have any other magic. They can't display anything. So they write a blog, and in there they write whatever they, feel is going to be catchy to you and encourage you, whether it's true or not. And then, then they run with that. So that's what I was talking about. On this channel, I'm not going to encourage stuff like that. I'm going to be very aligned with the prophecies and the scriptures in the way that I speak and about what I speak. Okay, so all that said, you guys know what's up with me. You know what's going on with the channel. Let's get into it. So again, I'm not doing the sky this week or astronomy.com, but going to the Christian calendar for this week. The 10th is nothing as far as the Christian calendar. But the 11th is the feast day of Saint Damasus the First. He was the Pope. The 12th is a day for which I will read a little paragraph from www.catholic.org. I think I'm going to use, because the 12th is the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, or Guadalupe, however you want to pronounce it. The 13th, Saint Lucy of Syracuse, virgin and martyr. And the 14th, Saint John of the Cross, priest and doctor. So again, the day on which that may be important here for us is Our Lady of Guadalupe. So I'll go over that one. On the Hebrew calendar, I think we went over last week that there still should be nothing this week on the Hebrew calendar that we need to make any additional mention of, other than, oh my goodness, well, other than Hanukkah, of course. Hanukkah begins on the 13th. I almost forgot that one. So that's important. And let's go to Our Lady of Guadalupe then. And it is actually www.catholic.org, from where I'll be reading Our Lady of Guadalupe. An elder Mexican man makes his way to Mass in the early morning twilight of December 9th in the year 1531. 1531 is, of course, 613 with the numbers transposed, which equals 19, which for me equals God. So that's something else the new subscribers may be unfamiliar with, but you'll hear me say stuff like this. He was a peasant, a simple farmer, and a laborer, and he had no education. Born under Aztec rule, he is a convert to Catholicism, and each step he takes this morning is a step into history. The morning quiet is broken by a strange music that he will later describe as the beautiful sound of birds. Diverting his path to investigate the sound, Juan Diego comes face to face with a radiant apparition of the Virgin Mary. Juan Diego is 57 years old. He has just encountered the Virgin Mary on Tepeyac Hill, the site of a former Aztec temple. His wife has died 2 years earlier, and he lives with his elder uncle, scratching his living from the earth as a humble peasant farmer. Why should this unlearned man be chosen by Our Lady to carry a message to the bishop? Perhaps because she would find none other as humble as Juan Diego. Juan Diego is dazzled by the incredible beauty and miraculous nature of Our Lady's appearance. She appears as a native princess to him, and her words sound more beautiful than the sweetest music ever made. Our Lady calms the startled traveler and assures him of who she is. She instructs Juan Diego to visit his bishop and to ask that a temple be built on the site of her appearance, so that she will have a place to hear petitions and to heal the suffering of the Mexican people. Now go and put forth your best effort, Our Lady instructs. Visibly shaken, Juan Diego approaches the bishop, who is initially very skeptical of his account. What did this peasant truly want? Does he merely seek attention, notoriety, money? Or is he possessed by demons? Has Juan Diego been tricked by the devil? The bishop patiently listens to Juan Diego's accounts and dismisses him. The humble farmer has failed. Juan Diego begins to doubt himself. He returns to Tepeyac Hill, where he hopes for some confirmation of what he's experienced. Indeed, Our Lady does not disappoint, for she appears again as radiant as before. Juan Diego tells Our Lady what she already knows, that the bishop did not believe him. She instructs him to return the next morning and to ask again. The bishop is beside himself. Why did this peasant insist on telling this story? How could he know if the peasant was lying or perhaps insane? At their second meeting, the bishop asks for a sign. Juan Diego makes a promise he won't keep, saying he will return the very next morning with a sign from Our Lady. But that evening, Juan Diego returned home to find his uncle, Juan Bernardino, who was 68 years old and suddenly terribly ill. The illness is known to the people there, and it brings a burning fever so hot it's almost always fatal. Juan Diego cannot leave his uncle's bedside to keep his pledge to the bishop. He spends the next 2 days with his uncle trying to save him. When it becomes apparent that his uncle is about to die, he leaves to find a priest who can prepare him for death. Frightened and saddened, Juan Diego sets off in a great hurry. Time is running out, and Juan Diego is afraid his uncle will die without a last confession. On the road, in his way, Our Lady appears for a third time. Upset and afraid, Juan Diego explains himself. Our Lady replies, "Am I not your mother? Are you not in the crossing of my arms?" she asked. Shamed by the admonishment, but emboldened by Our Lady's presence, Juan Diego asks for the sign he promised to the bishop. He knows he is wrong to doubt Our Lady. Juan Diego is instructed to climb to the top of Tepeyac Hill, where he will find flowers. He is to pick the flowers there, which are unlike any he has ever seen before, and he is to keep them hidden in his tilma until he reaches the bishop. Juan Diego is skeptical again. It's December. What flowers could grow on the summit of the hill in this cold? Nevertheless, he obeys, and atop the hill he finds a great number of flowering roses, which he picks and hastily gathers into his cloak. For the third time, Juan Diego is ushered in to see the bishop. The skeptical cleric has waited for 2 days to see what sign Our Lady has for him. Juan opens his tilma, letting the roses cascade to the floor. But more than the roses, both men are astonished to see what is painted on his humble tilma, an exquisite image of Our Lady. In the image, she stands as she appeared, a native princess with high cheekbones. Her head is bowed and her hands are folded in prayer to God. On her blue cloak, the stars are arranged as they appeared in the morning darkness at the hour of her first apparition. Under her feet is a great crescent moon, a symbol of the Aztec religion. The message is clear. She is more powerful than the Aztec gods, yet she herself is not God. At the same time, Our Lady is appearing to Juan Diego and directing him to cut the flowers on Tepeyac Hill. She also appears to his uncle, Juan Bernardino, who believes he is about to die. As soon as she appears, the fever stops and Juan Bernardino feels well again. She tells Juan Bernardino she wants to be known as Santa Maria de Guadalupe. Our Lady of Guadalupe did not appear again, for her mission was complete. The temple was built and remains there today, in what is now a suburb of Mexico City. Juan Diego's tilma, woven from cactus fibers with a shelf life of just 30 years at best, remains miraculously preserved. The symbolism of Our Lady's dress is obvious to over 8 million Native Mexicans, whom all speak different languages. She is brighter than the sun, more powerful than any Aztec god, yet she is not a god herself, and she prays to one greater than her. Her gown is adorned with stars in the correct position as the night sky, and the gold fringe of her cloak mirrors the surrounding countryside. Millions of natives will convert at the news of what has happened. Millions more will make pilgrimages over the next 5 centuries to see the miraculous tilma and to honor Our Lady of Guadalupe. Great miracles continue to occur there even to today. On October 12th, 1945, which is 19, of course, Pope Pius XII decreed Our Lady of Guadalupe to be patroness of all of the Americas. Her feast day is December 12th, and it is a holy day of obligation in Mexico. That means if you are in Mexico and a practicing Catholic, at least, you must go to church. It's like a Sunday. Our Lady of Guadalupe had this to say to Juan Diego. And this is a quote here. They have this in quotes. And there's Raphael outside too, with his sirens. Okay. Know for certain, least of my sons, that I am the perfect and perpetual Virgin Mary, Mother of the true God, through whom everything lives, the Lord of all things, near and far, the Master of heaven and earth. It is my earnest wish that a temple be built here to my honor. Here I will demonstrate, I will exhibit, I will give all my love, my compassion, my help, and my protection to the people. I am your merciful mother, the merciful mother of all of you who live united in this land, and all of mankind, all of those who love me, all of those who cry to me, of those who seek me, of those who have confidence in me. Here I will hear their weeping, their sorrow, and will remedy and alleviate all of their multiple sufferings, necessities, and misfortunes. End quote. Speaking of Mary, with all that's going on, like in California, the fires that are burning, and maybe even more than that, the stuff that I should put this in quotes, President Trump has set off with moving the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and changing essentially the capital of Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. It may be connected to the thoughts that I was having about Mary and Nostradamus. Mary's prediction of basically like World War III, but other events that were to occur. And Nostradamus, I mentioned, whose real name is actually Michael, Michel of Notre Dame. He had similar visions to those of Our Lady of Fatima. And I didn't know last week why I was thinking about all this. And then I was watching the news earlier and I said, I wonder if this is what that was about. Like, he's messing with the Holy Land. And it's a holy land for, many people, for Christians, for Jews, and for Muslims. Jerusalem is a holy land. Palestinians live in that area. Mary was from Palestine. She was born in Palestine. So I don't know. We may want to keep all this in mind and think about it amongst ourselves, and perhaps somebody else will have some sort of revelation or something. All right. So with that, I'm going to go to quickly, let me go over the astrology for this week. So Venus is in Sagittarius, and we saw that throughout not only the weekly readings that I did last week, but in the readings to take us into the new year. Again, for each archetype, the divine masculine and divine feminine one, there was a lot of fire. And that fire, I would say, is in part attributed to Venus in Sagittarius, which she entered Sagittarius on the 1st, and she doesn't leave until the 25th. Also, Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius. It officially left shadow and entered retrograde on the 3rd of December. and remains there until the 22nd. So I had joked the other day that we had like 3 days between the end of the Mercury retrograde and Christmas to make up and, you know, spend the holiday together if we weren't speaking because of the retrograde. Also, the full moon in Gemini was the same day as Mercury's retrograde, December 3rd. So that's heavy. Mars enters Scorpio on the 9th. So that's a big deal. I think something else was happening on the 9th. Oh, and I skipped the 5th. December 5th, Chiron went direct. Chiron was retrograde in Pisces. It went direct on the 5th. Mars in Scorpio on the 9th. Jupiter, as we know, is already in Scorpio. So Mars is joining Scorpio there. The new moon in Sagittarius is the 18th. Oh, and that's already the next week because I said this reading goes through the 16th. Okay, so I guess that's it for now. I was just trying to remember everything. We'll talk about the rest next time. So you know what? I guess that's it. Let's do our dice. I'm beginning with email, party, and stay in bed. Spirit says weekend away. Spend money. And it's 50-50. Going to the cards, I'm going to go to the Angel Tarot first. I am beginning with life experience with Archangel Chamuel. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. Life experience, of course, is the Tower. And many people are afraid of the Tower. I am not, because I feel that sometimes the Tower is good. The Tower is all just about shaking up our life. It's similar to the world, except for the world is slower, right? The world is the universe, a karmic energy, easing us out of, you know, a situation that from which we need to move on. The Tower quickly, abruptly removes us from that situation. And opening to the Three of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. So, for example, maybe we have not been, you know, getting our just due, right? Getting what we've earned, whether it's money or recognition or something material. And all of a sudden the Tower comes through to shake everything up and to change that, to remove the old stagnant energy and air of us not progressing. And all of a sudden we're progressing. Life experience. And opening to the Queen of Water, who is tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. It's about being nurturing. The Queen of Water represents the sign of Scorpio, or as the fixed sign. Queens are usually connected to the fixed sign. But, you know, can also be a Cancer or a Pisces or anyone, you know, taking on those traits or attributes. Life experience, and the King of Fire, who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic, and perhaps also a Scorpio, although that's not here anymore. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. King of Fire, of course, can also be a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Maybe Sagittarius with all that's going on. Again, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius, the Sun in Sagittarius right now. King of Fire. And it's the Six of Fire. Victory. Good news. It's on its way. Public recognition or awards. Six of Fire. I'll go one more. And it's the King of Water, who is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. And charity work, which for me equals love. This can be a King of Water, being victorious, a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or someone taking on any of those traits or attributes, maybe having emotion, considering his emotions, also considering some logic when making decisions, when taking action, but not like wearing his emotions on his sleeve. He's not a sap. He's not a punk. You know, this man or woman, whoever is represented by this king, has their emotions in check, and they know how to, you know, draw upon them in a healthy way, maybe in order to help them to be victorious over something. It can definitely be, you know, a direct water sign, and additionally a Scorpio with the fire and the water, because Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And again, we have this week, during the period for which this reading is, Mars entering Scorpio. Mars is a planet of action, movement, you know, very aggressive movement, and also love. Mars is the masculine, you know, god and planet of love to Venus's feminine. And coming to the Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, being afraid to take action. This is feeling stuck and that there's no way out. We talked a lot about this as it relates to the masculine. A lot of them, yeah, very much so, just feeling they can't move forward, either because they lack confidence in themselves, they don't feel worthy of the feminine, or, you know, some other situations. Some of them feel like they really cannot leave different family situations they have going on, living situations they have going on. Feeling stuck, but we talked about their need to get out as it related to the feminine. Some of us had some old toxic relationships to get out of also. And in some cases for us, our pride and thing in our mind also is what was imprisoning us. And the overall energy is the moon. Again, the last day for which this reading is the 16th. The new moon occurs on the 18th. So we'll be, you know, we will have entered that energy already by the end of this week. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. The moon represents the sign of Pisces, or perhaps other water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or anybody, again, taking on those kind of traits or attributes. It can also be about things that are hidden, right? What's done in the dark. Also, maybe not something so secretive or malicious. It's just stuff that the universe itself has not yet revealed to us. Masculine is the sun, which represents the sign of Leo, or actually Sagittarius in the tarot. Leo in real life, because Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. Can also be an Aries too, of course. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. And for me, can also, again, be a Scorpio. Scorpio also ruled by Mars. And maybe not in general be a Scorpio, but right now, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is in Scorpio. Mars entering Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio. So this fire energy can also represent them as directly as it can the fire signs. And that sits atop the 10 of fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. That creates stress-related health concerns. This is like, this can be like high blood pressure, headaches, nausea from feeling stuck and like you're doing too much and you don't know your way out. But it's like the universe is going to help you. This is coming to an end. In the masculine subconscious, the Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative is the Knight of Water. He is also a Pisces, maybe like the moon, Cancer or Scorpio, or someone behaving very water signish at the time. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. Maybe on the masculine's mind. The feminine, the Six of Earth, one of my most favorite cards in this deck because it represents Venus in both of her elements. Air, and Libra, and Earth, Taurus. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities. Maybe even receiving a loan or paying off debts. As it relates to romance and or love in general, even among strangers, for me, it is the purest, most unconditional love there is. This is exchanges without motive, without agenda. I'm giving to you freely because I wish to give to you freely. I hope that you will receive in the same way. Maybe one day you'll give to me in kind. You don't have to, right? There's no strings attached here. Feminine, surrounded by awakening with Archangel Gabriel, which also represents the sign of Pisces for me and the planet Neptune. This is the hangman in the traditional tarot. Look at things from a different perspective. You are at a temporary standstill that you can do this maybe, and it's important to be yourself in the meantime. What that means, it's really important for you to be honest with yourself about what you want and what's going on with you when you take this step back and look at the big picture. Because that's your shot, right? You've got this moment to take your shot and to just keep it real and go for what you know. And you might be a little confused before you take that step back because that's what Neptune does to us. It makes us confused. That's why this card represents Neptune to me. But if you are honest with yourself and without agenda, you should really be able to see the big picture and come to a decision of exactly what it is that I want, in what direction do I wish to go, and what might I need, to help me to get there. In the feminine subconscious, beautiful. This is opposite the Knight of Water. This can very much be both parties looking for, commitment or something like that. With the Knight of Water opposite the Four of Fire. Contentment, peace, and abundance. A happy home life and the successful completion of a project. Crowning, it's the Four of Earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. As it relates to love, this can be not only withholding money, it's abundance in general for me, and it can be withholding love. Again, not giving freely or not receiving freely. Why you want to give me? What do I do to deserve that? I don't trust this. You know what I mean? That's can be what this is, especially with the two of them sitting here together. At the root, it's the Six of Water sitting here next to the Knight of Water. Can very much be a soulmate relationship, a past life relationship, returning. This can be your ex coming back saying, please forgive me. Maybe even, marry me. I was a fool. Run away with me, whatever the case is. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. There can be something going on with somebody's child too, and in the home. I would say it was something positive, but that can be a possibility as well. Maybe you're seeking new living arrangements. We saw a lot of that going on. And again, there's a need to take a step back here as the hangman crossing the Six of Water. It can be in relation to making a decision about, your relationships, your romantic relationships, or a situation with your child, or both. Because some of us have been hesitant, for example, to, leave a toxic relationship because we have children with the person and we don't know how we're going to move on by ourselves and things of that nature. So that can be a situation that involves, both your home and your child and your relationship or what have you. At the heart of the matter, more reconciliation, and it's sitting right here atop the Six of Water. So that's what this is going to be for most of us, and crossing the sun, right? Very, very happy outcome for everybody at the end of the day. With the Ace of Water sitting here atop the Six of Water, it can be connected to children too. It can be maybe the birth of a child or somebody becomes pregnant. The Ace of Water atop the Six of Water, but the Ace of Water is often about reconciliation, right? Relationships getting back together. Sitting atop the Six of Water, again, this is your ex returning to your life, with a brand new offer of tremendously emotionally fulfilling love for you. He is the Knight of Water. She is the Knight of Water. The three of these together are really like, you know, let me make your dreams come true and, you know, allow you to do the same for me. As it relates to maybe something more general, since this is the general reading, this can be a new home for someone, right? Everything works out. Maybe you were worried. Maybe you've been trying to pinch your pennies and you didn't know if you were going to be able to get through this home purchase or sale, maybe. And that was stressful. All is well, you know, it ends well. I'm going to do some further clarifying for additional meanings or additional confirmation with the Animal Tarot, beginning with the Princess of Autumn, who is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. She is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or a scholarship, is coming your way. Can be this, especially crossing the 6 of Earth, which can often have to do with school, right? Receiving a loan, paying off debts. That can be like your financial aid or something. Seize the chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. Okay, seize the chance to learn something more exciting. So that can be your life experience too. Like jump at it, take a leap of faith and jump at this new opportunity to feel love you never felt before. That's learning something new and exciting. Or it can have to do with a rewarding, you know, career opportunity or something. And opening 2, another King of Spring. He too, like the first one, is inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused on the big picture. King of Spring. And another 10 of Fire, or 10 of Spring. You're working far too hard, and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. Crossing the 6 of Water. Maybe this is, again, playing, spending time with your soulmate and or your children to help to alleviate some of that stress. 10 of Spring. And it's another 4 of Spring, or 4 of Fire. It's time to kick back and relax and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life, or maybe a relationship. Oh. There we go. 4 of Spring. And it's the 4 of Summer. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all of the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. So don't miss anything. Especially opposite the 4 of Spring. If it's an opportunity for happiness, look into it, consider it, take a step back and look at the big picture, because you could miss out on this if you don't. It's 4 of Spring. And the 8 of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving on from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what could make you very happy. Either way, you're in control. Four of Spring. I'll cut. And it's the 6 of Autumn, so another 6 of Earth. We know none of these energies are here by accident or mistake. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or a scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money or reputable charities. Or love, right? We could be sharing through love. These cards could be here because of love, a mutual exchange between two people with it, just without agenda, just because I love you. That's it. Overall energy is the Prince of Spring, passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. And I really feel like this is Mars. I really feel like the Prince of Spring is Mars, and or all the Sagittarius action that's going on right now. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. I think with the Venus in Sagittarius, I mean, I already mentioned in my other readings that I felt like, I guess going back to the beginning of the month, when I read beginning December 1st, that for me was like Venus and Cupid together. Since Cupid is Sagittarius, is Shamuel, is Venus's son, I just felt that was like love upon love upon love, despite the Mercury retrograde. Now, if you meet somebody brand new, though, you may not want to enter commitment until the 23rd, right? Until after Mercury has gone direct. Because if you don't, I'm not saying the relationship won't survive, this new relationship that you begin. But you may have to like revisit some things. It's like a contract. So you may have to, it may be better off to just hold off commitment. Here atop the sun, it's the 8 of summer. You feel there's more to life than what you're living. So it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. It looks like, you are being drawn to what will make you happy. Or perhaps you are leaving a situation that's funky. It's going to turn out well regardless. This is here with the sun, which is happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself that you can do this. You can make this move. Atop the 10 of fire is the 10 of summer. It's being replaced with the 10 of summer. It's time to express your love and your appreciation for family, be it relatives or, a chosen family of close friends or something. Congratulations may also be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising a happy and balanced child. And the 10 of summer sitting here next to the ace of summer can be congratulations on a marriage, congratulations on your new baby, congratulations on your pregnancy, all those sort of things with the 10 of summer here. The masculine is all water in this second spread. It's atop the 6 of summer. So we're going to have 2 6 of summers or 2 6 of cups sitting here next to one another. And the 6 of cups, again, with the Knight of Water, to me is about a relationship that is returning, especially crossing the Ace of Water. This is about reconciliation and or brand new love. Love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, and possibly old childhood dreams could finally be revived and, lived out. That would certainly make somebody emotionally happy. Feminine, atop the 6 of earth is the 7 of winter. So let's beware of people and energies trying to steal our joy and trying to cause us to lack confidence in ourselves and to be distrustful of others unnecessarily when they want to, give us something that we're not overly cautious about accepting. Although we, should exercise some I'm taking these two together to mean exercise reasonable caution in either direction. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind, or maybe love, right? Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. So be like aware, but not overly paranoid of these situations, so that this way you don't get so into a pattern of like overthinking and overanalyzing it and distrustful that you're unwilling to accept and or receive love. That's what we want to be careful of. A top awakening, or the hangman, is the queen of winter. All of your life's experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth, right? Then I say you have to be in your truth. You got to be your true self here. It's important to be yourself. You got to keep it 100, the real deal with yourself. It's time to declutter your home or to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. That can be these people, these 7 of winter people who are trying to prevent you from having your happiness, which is the 6 of earth. So you got to stop lying to yourself that these are your friends. Look at the big picture. Nah, these people don't like me. They don't love me. They would rather see me, misery loves company is what this is. They'd rather see me without this blessing of the 6 of earth. So I need to cut them off. And I need to keep it real with myself and, stop deceiving myself, stop lying to myself, and be in truth and look at this situation as what it really is, not what I wish it was. Like I wish they really did like me. They don't. So let's, cut them off and move on. Here atop the 4 of fire is the princess of summer, or the page of cups. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced is the princess of summer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. Well, of course you may. With the princess or page of summer opposite the knight of water, who makes invitations, and the page brings news. It's news and offers of love. With the knight sitting here with the 6 of summer, with another 6 of summer, yet again sitting next to this princess of summer, with the princess of summer herself sitting atop the 4 of fire, all about peace and happiness and commitment and maybe even marriage. Crossing the ace, emotional fulfillment. Crossing the 8 of summer, wanting to move on to something bigger, better, happier, more loving, right? This is just love upon love upon love. Crowning here atop the 4 of earth, and what you should go for. Stop withholding your love or your partnership, whether it's a business partnership or a platonic partnership, since this is the general, or romantic partnership, and maybe even divine partnership with the 2 of spring, which is essentially the 2 of wands, and the 2 of wands being the representation of the divine, masculine and feminine in the tarot. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people helping you. With the 2 of wands sitting here atop the ace of water, which is atop the 6 of water, this row going straight down can absolutely be about reconciliation and rekindling love. And that would all of this fully aligned with what we saw, what we knew to expect for the divine feminine, and what we knew to expect for the divine masculine. That at the end of the day, all of this is going to work out. So just all the readings reconfirming one another, and hopefully reassuring us all, and helping us to remain on path and not like deviate and maybe lose some of these blessings, right? We might 4 of cups ourselves, or 5 of cups ourselves, or 5 of air ourselves. We don't want to do any of those things. Here at the root, atop the 6 of water, a decision. Maybe again, decision. Do I keep these people in my life? Do I enter this new relationship? Do I reconcile with this person? Can I trust them? Do you want to get married? Do you want to enter commitment? Yes or no? I got to think about things. It's a decision maybe involving my children, maybe involving my soulmate, my past life relationship, maybe both, right? Procrastination and worry about what others might think is blocking you from making a decision. Remember these people? that we have to look at for what they really are and who they really are. Those are the others who might think something that we have to, you know, cut that off and cut off any worry about what they might think. Who cares? Because it's blocking us from making a decision. If you're torn between your desires and someone else's, then follow your inner guidance, right? Follow your heart, especially with regard to your children and or your soulmate relationship. And here's Raphael again, more sirens, more healing. At the heart of the matter, atop the Ace of Water, it's the moon. It's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon. So worry is unnecessary. Again, the moon represents the sign of Pisces, just as the hangman next to which it sits does. And also other water signs. So this Ace of Water, this Princess of Summer, all represented or tied in with the moon. And it also has to do with, again, the universe knowing more than we do. But most importantly, that everything is going to turn out all right and come to light. What's done in the dark always comes to light. We have the moon crossing the sun here. So if there is something that's hidden, it's going to be revealed. And I think it's something that's hidden about some people that we believe care about us that don't really. And we're going to have to let them go. Because again, all these readings are connecting to one another and aligning with, you know, what is expected and what is written. And it's all playing out in the cards. So we got the two moons too. Remember, the moon was also our overall energy. Moon is our overall energy, and it's our heart of the matter. I also wanted to get some advice this week for the general from my Egyptian oracle cards, these Egyptian Sibylla cards I have. And this one jumped out. And I thought it was interesting because clubs can represent wands or fire in the tarot. So this would be or could be like a king of fire, or essentially maybe a representation of the divine masculine. Well, sure enough, it has a picture of Osiris, or a picture of a statue of Osiris and Horus on it. And this card is about, there's a man being healed here. And we don't want to get caught up in like, it's about healing without pride, if that makes any sense. It's about being vulnerable and humble enough to be healed. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's about being vulnerable enough and humble enough to be healed, like to let go of your ego and to allow for things to fall into place for you. Also, when this jumped out, behind it, I wanted to make note of, was the Six of Spades. Now, spades can represent the air element in the tarot, right? Swords, wands. And this card is here with a woman. She's looking out onto the water. And it's about, like, regret. And making sure that you live your dreams while you have the chance. It's about not missing the boat, as they say. Right? She's looking out wondering, like, did I do everything in my life that I wanted to, that I could have? Did I miss anything? She's worried about that as she sits there and looks out. And that was atop this one. So I thought this was all interesting because, again, this had the King Osiris on it. And it represents the fire and the King of Fire, which is the divine masculine in the tarot. The Six of Spades or Six of Air is absolutely a representation of the divine feminine, or of Venus and Mary and Isis. And the next card is the King of Hearts, which is the same thing. This is the King of Water. So it's like more Osiris or more divine masculine. And this guy is more authoritative and more like the King of Hearts that I described earlier. That just has like his emotions in check. He knows what he wants. He knows how to achieve it. You know, but he's like a kind and understanding and loving man too. And so he's going to take those things into consideration when he makes his moves as well. Opening to the Queen of Diamonds. And this very happy woman. This is like Queen of Pentacles, I guess. Diamonds represent coins or pentacles in the tarot. Queen of Diamonds. And it's the Queen of Clubs. So Queen of Fire. Divine Feminine. Queen of Clubs. And opening to the Four of Clubs. Here we have what looks to be Isis and her sister. Queen of Clubs and the Ace of Hearts. So this is a very happy family, and it's you know, another Ace of Water, essentially. So new beginnings, new emotionally fulfilling beginnings, perhaps with this new moon, and just over the next couple weeks, and this week in particular, for which this reading is coming to us. Queen of Fire. I'm going to cut. And it's the Five of Spades. So this could be like a Five of Air. The Five of Air in the tarot is about conflict. And this doesn't necessarily look like it's about conflict. This looks more like a card of transformation, like it'll be connected to death and letting go of the old, right? As these spirits are released from this sarcophagus here. And the overall energy is the Nine of Spades. And as you can see, it's a man that's being, you know, placed under arrest and jailed. And it is about, you know, feeling imprisoned. And typically with this card, not unlike maybe the Nine of Spades or Air in the traditional tarot, or even the Eight of Air, it's usually in our mind, right? Free your mind and the rest will follow. You're not really imprisoned. You can get out of in the situation and find happiness and love. And definitely here you can. In this spread. Okay, from the Animal Tarot, so further to all this, to the masculine, the Magician, which for me represents the sign of Gemini, because Gemini, like Virgo and Sagittarius, is a mutable sign. But not only is it a mutable sign, it's a mutable sign times 2. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. The masculine has all the tools he needs to be successful. This can also, the Magician, have to do with like wearing a false mask. And that can be associated to Gemini sometimes too. Like people say, like the two faces of Gemini, right? It can be that, the false mask, deceiving yourself. So not unlike the feminine, you too are going to have to make sure that you're in like your truth when you're doing this manifestation. That's what manifestation is about. Our thoughts becoming our reality. So if you're in some sort of fake place, phony place, thinking about, you know, negative things or toxic things, that's what you're going to manifest. So be careful of that, masculine. Keep that in mind, rather. For the feminine, wow, it's another Ace of Summer. This is our third Ace of Hearts, basically. We just pulled one with the Sibylla cards, the Egyptian Oracle cards, and we got one here. We got one here at the heart of our matter, underneath the moon. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. So all of which are wonderful. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, it's another page of water. So we've got the Princess of Summer here. She is a page of water. And here's yet another page of water. Page of water again represents the sign of Pisces for me, most specifically, because Pisces is the youthful of the water element. It can also be a Cancer or a Scorpio or anybody taking on those traits or attributes, or making or receiving an offer of love. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Also heightened psychic abilities are typical when you see this card. For the Feminine, it's another queen of fire. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful is the queen of fire. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. The queen of fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or maybe a Scorpio herself too, and is the quintessential divine feminine of the tarot. So this could be just our element as it relates to being true to ourselves and who we are, and remaining in this power. Right, because the Queen of Winter is also the representation of the divine feminine, like of all time. So this is about, remaining in that position of feminine power. From the Egyptian oracle to the masculine, this is about reconciliation. Another card of reconciliation is the Jack of Hearts. I'll read what it means from the actual book. And for the feminine, the Two of Clubs. We got to decide whether or not we're going to be prideful, or we're going to drop our ego and only, again, remain true to ourselves in making our decisions and movements from here on out. I'll read this from the book too. The Jack of Hearts, the lover, musician in love, a partner or a husband or a close relative. He is a sincere friend, or in any case, his intentions do not involve harming you intentionally. Surrendering oneself to love is not a choice, but practically a duty for those who desire happiness, right? If you want happiness, you have to surrender yourself to love. Right? You cannot continue to withhold love if you want love. If you want this, you've got to be one of the two that enter the partnership, not somebody that's withholding your love and keeping yourself back. Without clarity of feeling, so without being honest about, with ourselves and our partners or potential partners, without clarity of feelings, there will be passion, but also ambiguous and unreciprocated seduction. Look for a friend who loves you, or who will accompany you on this adventure called life. Friendship is the presumption that you may find well before falling in love, and it could give rise to a strong plant with strong roots. Which is funny because the past couple of weeks we have had the masculine wanting to be the feminine's friend. When there's a friendship card or friend card in the hashtag creepy deck that I have been reading, wanting to start as friends. And one time I even felt like that there was a song, the very next time she'll be my friend, she'll be just like you. So that's how we want to move. For the feminine, the Two of Clubs. This one is actually called Pride. A hopo. Success and temporary achievement. The image we give of ourselves could be that of victory and the ability to generate well-being, but also an inauspicious pride and a vanity that creates enemies and deteriorates that which we have accumulated, right? This is a card of loss, theft, deterioration. It's saying your pride can do that to you. And isn't it funny? Again, this card says about the hangman, where we have felt that it is about the need to be yourself, right? And the need to not be full of ego and pride, because it can cause you, it's sitting under here, under this card with the loss. It can cause you loss if you're not honest with yourself. And if you don't look at the big picture in a truthful manner. That's exactly what this card is saying. Right? Success and temporary achievement. The image we give of ourselves could be that of victory and the ability to generate well-being, but also an inauspicious pride and a vanity that creates enemies and deteriorates that which we have accumulated. Being frugal in times of prosperity is difficult but necessary. Advice. Try to think about your success or the good you've achieved recently. Now look at it through the eyes of others and try to empathize with them. The exercise is always helpful, and the cards will invite you often to change your point of view as a way to grow in strength and wisdom. Change your perspective. I hope that you guys enjoy the weekly reading. I will be back with love. Namaste, angels.